James chapter 4 opens with this: "From whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lusts that war in your members?" James starts by talking about conflict, not abstract conflict, real conflict, arguments, power struggles, relationships that keep breaking down. He asks where that friction actually comes from and answers it directly. It doesn't start with circumstances. It starts with desires that aren't being checked. People want things to go a certain way. They want control, recognition, comfort, relief. When those wants don't get met, they don't stay internal. They come out sideways. Tension shows up in conversations. Frustration turns into blame. Disappointment turns into hostility. James says that even prayer can get twisted by this. Instead of asking for wisdom or clarity, people ask for outcomes that serve what they already want. When that happens, prayer becomes another way of trying to manage life instead of surrendering it. That's why he says some prayers go unanswered, not because God is distant, but because the request itself is misaligned. It's aimed at consumption, not formation. Then James uses strong language and talks about friendship with the world. He's not saying people can't enjoy life or have relationships. He's talking about loyalty, about what shapes decisions when values compete. When approval, comfort, or advantage become the priority, something else always gets pushed aside. Trying to live with divided loyalties creates instability. You can't serve two centers without friction. Something eventually gives. Then the tone shifts. James says God gives grace, not sparingly, generously. But that grace doesn't settle where pride is in control. Pride resists correction. It explains itself. It defends its position. Humility stays open. It stays adjustable. That's why James talks about submitting to God and resisting what pulls you off course. Submission here isn't weakness, it's alignment. It's deciding what gets the final say. Resistance isn't loud either. It's the steady refusal to let certain patterns keep running unchecked. He connects drawing near to God with honesty, cleaning hands, purifying hearts. He isn't introducing rituals. He's talking about integrity, about stopping the split between what people say they want and how they actually live. James even talks about grief and seriousness, which feels uncomfortable to modern ears. He isn't saying life should be joyless. He's saying there are moments when deflection stops working, when something needs to be faced instead of managed. Then he turns to how people talk about one another: criticism, judgment, comparison. He says when people constantly judge others, they quietly put themselves above the standard they claim to follow. It isn't discernment he's addressing, it's positioning, elevating oneself by lowering someone else. James follows that with something very practical. He talks about planning, about speaking confidently about tomorrow or next year. He isn't saying planning is wrong. He's saying certainty is fragile. Life shifts quickly. Control is often assumed, not possessed. That's why he says plans should be held humbly, not passively, but realistically, acknowledging that time, opportunity, and outcomes aren't guaranteed. He closes the chapter by saying that knowing the right thing and refusing to do it still matters. Not because God is tallying failures, but because awareness carries responsibility. Once something is seen clearly, ignoring it doesn't work anymore. James chapter 4 keeps returning to the same pressure point: what people want and what they're willing to bend to get it. Most of the conflict he's describing doesn't start with bad intentions. It starts with desires that never get examined and loyalties that stay divided. Nothing in this chapter asks for perfection. It asks for honesty about what keeps driving decisions, about what gets defended reflexively, about where pride quietly replaces trust. James doesn't give a formula here. He removes the excuses and slows everything down. If something keeps repeating, there's a reason. If relationships keep breaking the same way, there's a reason. If peace feels distant, there's a reason. The chapter leaves you there. Not rushed, not resolved. Paying attention to what's been doing the steering,